Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello everyone and magandang hapon. Welcome to NOLITC's Gender and Development Webinar. In this free webinar, we will bring to you how you can use the modern Excel power tools to save a ton of time with your job and become an Excel hero at your school or respective office. So we are streaming live over YouTube and Facebook. Let us greet one another in the comment section. A pleasant afternoon to all. Or you may also share our link to this webinar to your friends, peers, and colleagues. And all together, let us learn. NOLITC GAD Webinar Series started in 2020 at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is another innovative grad project of NOLITC Tech4ED Center to promote gender equality and inclusion during this time of global health crisis. We are immensely happy that you took time off your busy schedules to join us today. My name is Ms. Redon Lorenta, and I will be serving as your host for this session. Kindly post your greetings and in the comment section. We would love to read those and mention your friends and your colleagues so that they could also join us in this webinar. Let us know as well where you are joining us from. Kindly comment your names and the name of your school or cities and municipality. Let us begin this webinar with a prayer to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Negros Hymn.
O labing makagagahom nga amay namon sa langit, mahinuklugon nga laon nga tagtugas ang langit, hangin, kalayo, tubig kag duta. Tanda ining imong timawa, kabay ining pag-ampo, magadulot sa amon sang kabuhi nga himaya. Salamat sa mga bugay nga imo ginpaambit sa amon. Salamat sa kabuhi nga ginadulot mo sa amon nga himpit. Salamat sa maayo nga panahon kag ilabi na gid sang imo katutom sa amon. Bendisyone ang imo katawhan. Bendisyone ang ila mga palangabuhian. Bendisyone ang mga panggas sa amon mga talamnan. Bendisyone ang ilang nga paglugayawan sa iban nga kapunsuran. Kabay makalabot sila nga walay sablag sa ila pagapadulungan. Kag ila binagid, bendisyone ining isla sang Negros nga amon natawhan. Kinahalad namon ang ining pag-ampo para sa imo kadayawan.
Bayang magiliw, kaya sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisihil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may hilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdinignig. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw na walhagit pansinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang hinigaya na pag may mga aki, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Sakit ka kapamilya, pag-uligay, pag-inay, pag-ibog, madapat mag-ari sa ating na probinsya. Magotod na Negrosano, isa katawungan, mapinalang tao, sa buwan na dampuan na isakripiso, sa kauswagan, sa sikatao. Sa kasahan, ako't wala may mapiling sa kalulong, nananagos ka nagais na ako. Ang matutot na Negrosano, isa katawang mapinalang tao, sa buwan na dampuan na isakripiso, sa kauswagan, sa sikatao. Ang matutot na Negrosano, sa katawang mapinalang tao, sa punadang po ang dati sakripisyo, pagbulikan, pagbigayin, paghibog mo, dapat magharin, para sa kauswagan, ng sikatao.
Hello there again. We hope that you're all settled in nicely. Greetings to our participants from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and to the other parts of the world. Kindly greet one another in the comment section. You can also make a shout out. We will take time to read your comments later. Since 2020, GAD Talks goes virtual with a series of webinars. The center has pivoted to online training and conducted various in-demand webinars. This is our urgent and most accessible response to the ongoing pandemic. Through providing relevant services and facilitating digital inclusiveness of communities. In 2020, NOLITC made a milestone when PhilSecNet awarded the center with the Pandemic Resilience Award for its support to students and teachers category. We are also recognized nationally as Outstanding Tech4ED Center by the Department of Information and Communications Technology. The three programs of NOLITC are recognized with Star Awards by TESDA, namely 2-star awards in our Contact Center Services NC2 and Visual Graphic Design NC3, and 1-star award in our 2D animation NC3. The star rating system recognizes the accomplishments, innovations, and improvement that the center have instituted beyond the minimum requirements set by TESDA. The Learning Center is also the priority program of Governor Eugenio Sebong Lacson under his 7-point priority agenda, Avance Negrense. NOLITC also offers various scholarship opportunities for our free online training, TESDA certified courses, and other special programs through the Negros Occidental Training for Work Scholarship Program with support of the Provincial Gender and Development Focal Point System. If you want to know more about our programs and scholarship opportunities, kindly visit our website. That's www.knowledgec.gov. All right. So these webinars are absolutely free. All right. To join, all you need to do is to register once and you will be given access to the entire webinar. Let me remind you to fill out the online attendance right now. The link to the online attendance form is pinned in the description box or in the comment section, or you may also scan the QR code that is flashed on your screen right there. You may also type the link to the online attendance in your web browser or your search engine, and you can do your attendance. While you are doing that, let me acknowledge and say hi to our virtual participants, especially to Sir Greg Bancolo, who is watching us from Tabo National High School, Municipality of Ilog. Hello there, Sir Greg. You have always been with us. Good afternoon to the faculty and staff of Tabo National High School, including the students. And also good afternoon as well to Jennifer Akuhin. Thank you for joining us. Keep on watching and mentioning your friends to this live stream, and we will acknowledge them for you. All right. So again, the link to our online attendance is right there, and you may also join us in the discussion by scanning or writing your questions and your clarifications in the open forum form. We will be sharing with you. There you go. The link or the QR code to our open forum. There you go. The moderator will bring them up towards the end of the presentation. You will also be receiving a certificate for attending this webinar online. You only need to accomplish the online evaluation of this webinar. Again, that can be found in the comment section, or you may always scan the QR code that is flashed on your screen. We hope that you are catching up with me with some of our opening reminders. Let's greet one another again. A pleasant afternoon. If you have not seen our previous posts yet, you can always check out our social media accounts. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. So this afternoon, we are going to unlock your potential with this another useful digital tool. And this is already our part two of this discussion because it's very in demand and very useful. Teachers can use Excel to keep attendance, average quarterly grades, create a lesson plan, template and schedule, and track the performances of their students. All right. And to click kickstart today's webinar, allow me to introduce our moderator for this learning session, who will also be introducing our speaker for today. Let us have to our virtual space Mr. Dale Aguil, co-founder of Coders Tribe.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Red. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, to introduce to you our speaker, backed by popular demand, is a tech expert who has promised us to last May to have a part two of his talk about Microsoft Excel. He used to be a Microsoft Excel trainer to a group of individuals and organizations as a side hustle. But data and analytics are really his true bread and butter as a digital marketing professional, and he uses Microsoft Excel heavily to manage and translate every data he gathered for the improvement of all his digital marketing campaigns. Let's give a generous virtual clap to Mr. JP De Gabi, digital marketing professional of Ninja Tribe Solutions.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm back again. Thank you so much, Dale. Is my audio clear? I just want to check.
Yes, you are
Yep.
audible.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So welcome back again. And as Dale mentioned, no, a quick context lang for those who are new on this live. We did this last May 30, if I'm not mistaken, and this is a part two. So expect that this will be quick compare dun sa last time na we took like mga 2 hours at yata last time during the training, and there's a lot that I've discussed, but for today, just to set the expectations of everyone, we'll be more focused on the continuation of the last topics, which are Excel tables and charts. And I think this will be very useful for not just for the teachers and not just for the teachers but also for the students during their research and everything, kasi yung Excel naman is very flexible. It's for all the users and then who wants to manage their data and stuff. Okay, so shall we start? Let me just share my screen. Okay, can I request a full view ng screen ko para at least for those who are using their mobile, kindly full screen itong live natin para you would be able to see itong mga text, kasi I understand since you're using mobile phone, medyo magiging maliit yung reception sa inyo ng mga ipapakita kong tables and then the text. And also for those who have at least extra monitors, feel free to test kung ano yung mga ituturo ko later on. But again, for those na bago dito sa ating Excel training, again, this is part 2. And if you want to catch the part 1, kindly visit yung Facebook page ng NOLITC and then check yung live last May 30. Nandun yung part 1. And I've covered at, I think, 4 topics there. And for today, again, this is the continuation and a quick recap kung saan tayo nag-end last time. So are we good? And if ever you have questions, feel free to put in or comment dun sa live natin sa Facebook, sa YouTube, para at least the organizer would be able to send it to me for Q&A later on. Okay. Sige. So shall we start? So for today, as you can see here, I'll be discussing the Excel tables again for the continuation last time. Excel tables for data management. It's more, actually, yung Excel tables, you can use it for attendance, grades, and a lot more. You can explore yung features na meron dito sa Excel tables natin. So for today, I'll be discussing these topics, and then eventually, I'll be discussing yung Excel tables and yung connection nito sa charts in terms of data illustration for you to be able to quickly understand and analyze yung every data. Kasi as mentioned by Dale, yes, hindi ako aligned sa academic sectors, but I use Excel for data management, for data analytics, and stuff. So yun yung mga ipapartake ko. But as much as possible, the situations or examples here, I really tried my best to somehow tailor fit it para at least maging relevant or maka-relate yung mga teachers natin out there. So may mga minimal data ako na ipapakita later on. So to quick start or kickstart this training, I want you to check these 2 tables. This one is a formatted table and the other one, itong nasa ilalim, is a manual table. So ano ba yung difference ng dalawa? A formatted table was created quickly and as you can see here, ang difference neto, when you click in any inside of this formatted table, you'll see here na mag-a-add yung table design na tab. So ulitin natin. Mag-click lang ako outside the table, mawawala yung table design na tab dun sa ribbon natin sa taas. Pero when I click again inside the table, mag-a-appear yung table design. That's how you would be able to see kung formatted table ba yung nakikita nyo. Kasi most of the users of Excel, based on my experience, puro manual yung approach or the way they create their table is manual. So later on, i-discuss ko kung paano yung formatted and paano ginawa yung manual. And yung difference naman, when you check the manual, hindi nyo makikita yung table design dito na tab sa taas, dito sa part ng ribbon sa taas. Again, kiklik ako sa labas, babalik ako sa manual table, inside the manual table, pero you won't be able to see na nagkaroon ng additional na table design na tab, wherein dito sa formatted, may table design. So, under ng table design, that's where you can customize yung table nyo, like the designs, the colors, and the arrangement of the data. And then, aside from that, you'll be able to see this additional features. As you can see, nakalagay dito. Sa loob ng isang table, whether it's a formatted or manual, of course, you have to at least put a header para at least you would be able to understand kung ano ba yung data that you are trying to understand inside the Excel file when doing a table. And then from there, ito na yung data row. These are the data rows na makikita nyo. Ayan. And then the total rows, nandito yun sa baba. And then the sizing handle, if you want, ito yung isa sa mga advantage kapag formatted table. If you want to resize your table and then apply yung same design, you could just use etong, wait lang, may error lang kasi naka-fix na tong table ko. Pero later ipapakita ko sa inyo yung use ng sizing handle. Pero this, you'll see the sizing handle here sa pinaka-corner ng formatted table na ginawa ko. Unlike dito sa formatted, walang sizing handle. You'll see an extra, parang extra corner here. That's the sizing handle. So now, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano ginagawa yung formatted table versus dun sa manual table. So, for you to be able to create a formatted table, ang first na step doon, as you can see here, meron dito, the option 1 is to select a cell within your data. So, let's say, ito yung buong data ko as a teacher. These are the full list of my students and then their grades per subject. And on this scenario, focus na let's say itong mga subjects na to and grades na to is for the first grading lang ng mga students ko. And for us to create a table, select all the data and then all the headers and stuff, the numbers. Basically, ito yung data itself na kailangan i-select. And then you have to, once na selected na lahat, just go to, click dito sa home. Makikita nyo dito yon. And then, you'll see here dun sa part ng styles, makikita nyo yung format as a table. And then, click that and then, check nyo yung preference nyo in terms of the design. So, on our case, let's stick with the branding ng Coder's Tribe. So, dito tayo sa red or sa blue. So, ang gagamitin ko is etong red na style. Once na na-click nyo na yung preferred na design nyo for the table, this is for the formatted table guys. So, once na na-click nyo na, make sure to check yung option na may table as headers. Meaning to say, etong last name, first name, gender, science, and the subjects, and then until the average. These are the table headers. But if wala kayong table headers, you can just uncheck it. Pero since may table headers na akong ginawa initially, i-check natin yung may table headers para makukuha na siya na part siya ng table. And this is the headers of the table na i-create natin. So, just click OK. And then, instantly, may table na tayo. Unlike dun sa manual approach na usual na ginagawa ng karamihan, ang nangyayari kasi is like this. So, usually, ang gagawin ng iba is most of the Excel users. Ewan ko kung sino yung guilty sa inyo on doing or creating this approach pagdating sa table. Comment down kung guilty kayo sa ganitong approach. Usually, ang gagawin ng mga users is isa-select nila yung header and then pipili sila ng color na gusto nila. And then, let's say, hindi makikita yung text, gagawin kulay puti yung text, and then i-bold and stuff. And then, for this one, ang gagawin nila, kukulayan nila ng separately, and then alternate, ganyan. So, iisa-isayin pa nilang kulayan yan, just to separate yung other data, and then just to easily check or magkaroon ng partition yung mga data para at least easy to read yung data. So, ay ganun yung nangyayari and ganun yung most of the situation or approach ng most of the users kapag doing manual tables. And usually, kapag maglalagay sila ng, kung makikita nyo dito, itong filter na to, usually, mag-i-insert lang siya ng filter manually. Unlike dun sa pinakita ko kanina na table na approach in doing formatted table, ganun lang siya kabilis. Na isa-select mo lang yung data, and then once selected na yung data, wait lang, balik lang tayo sa taas. Just a quick recap lang, guys. Once selected na yung data, again, yung first option natin is to check dun sa home and then format as a table. And then, i-select nyo lang ulit kung ano yung preferred yung kulay and stuff. Tapos, if you want, let's say, as you can see here, as I've mentioned kanina, kapag formatted, may sizing handle siya. If I want to extend yung table na ginawa ko. As you can see here dito, hindi ko nasama this time sa pag-select ng data yung average na column. So now, I want to this column, yung average column, to be part of my table. Ang gagawin ko, i-click ko lang tong sizing handle and I'll drag it lang papunta sa kanan to my right. And automatic, magiging part na ng table yung average column. And if I want to remove the average column naman, let's say hindi naman siya kasama or hindi siya necessary for this scenario, I can just drag yung sizing handle ulit, papunta naman sa left. Doon na siya, hindi na siya magiging part ng table. And then I can just delete yung average na column. Pero for this example, syempre, kailangan natin kasama yung average na column. Kasi eventually may ipapakita ko sa inyo yung tricks on how to quickly compute yung average ng mga students. And then, syempre, itong pinakita kong option 1 kanina, ilang steps yan. I think it takes us 4 clicks para lang makapag-generate ng table, which is, let's say, sabihin natin, nagmamadaling isang teacher. Ang daming clicks nun, 4 agad. May shortcut ba for this JP? Actually, yes, we do have a shortcut for that. Ang next option natin, kung makikita nyo dito, again, just select the data. That's 1 click. And then, just click Control T for Windows. Or sa iMac, I'm not sure kung Command T ba. Pero since Windows yung ginagamit ko, it's Control T. So, once na na-select nyo na yung data, ito yung quick na pag-create ng table, Control T. Pagka na-select mo na yung data, and then mag-a-appear ulit itong pop-up window na to. And then again, select yung, i-check nyo lang yung may table has headers. Then click OK. And that's it. Mas mabilis siya compared dun sa, i-check mo pa yung table. Dito sa home, i-check mo yung format table and then makakapili ka ng kulay and stuff. And again, once na nakagawa na kayo ng formatted table, you could easily again, change yung colors. Depende sa preference nyo. Unlike dun sa usual kapag manual table, for example here, if I want to change yung colors, nagbago yung isip ko sa design, kailangan pala is green or blue, depende sa mood ko for today. Iisa-isayin ko ulit kulayan to. Unlike for the formatted table, ang kailangan mo lang gawin is, punta ka lang sa table design, once nandun na yung tab na yon as formatted table, and then, hover mo lang yung kulay na gusto mo dito para to see lang, yan, to test. Okay, parang for this time, magpalit tayo. Ang gamitin natin is yung etong purple. Ganun kabilis. Ganun kabilis yung format or pag-personalize ng table when it is formatted, unlike dun sa manual na table. Now, baka mamaya itanong nyo sa akin, JP, nasaan na yung total row ng table na nakalagay dito kanina sa formatted. And since may total row din tong manual, nasa na napunta yun dito sa formatted? Same lang naman silang formatted. Now, this is where you would be able to fully customize yung table nyo. So, for us to see yung total row ng isang table, let's say, i-click nyo lang to inside the formatted table, and then from the table design, click nyo lang yon, yung tab na yun dito sa taas. And you'll see here, i-check nyo lang tong total row. Wait lang. I-check nyo lang tong total row, makikita nyo na, ito na yung total row na meron tayo. And unlike dito sa manual, ito nilagay ko pa to manually, ito part na to. So let's say, paano kung hindi ko na kailangan JK ng total row? Uncheck nyo lang ulit yun under table design, tapos uncheck nyo lang tong total row. And yes, click nyo lang. May nagpa-prompt lang, kung makikita nyo, may nagpa-prompt na dialog box when I uncheck. Kasi may mga pre-formulas na ako nilagay dito sa table. So may nagpa-prompt siya na I have to turn off or turning off yung total row would affect yung formulas or names na nilagay ko initially. So be careful or check nyo din kapag when removing yung total row, especially kapag na-compute nyo na yung isang data, tapos eventually na-realize nyo na hindi nyo pala kailangan. If you have to back up yung computations or you could easily just uncheck or check it, tas mag-auto-compute naman yung mga bagay-bagay inside the table as long as, again, it's formatted. So, on our case, i-remove ko lang ulit yung total row. Then, also from here, dito sa table design, you would be able to check and personalize further. Ito, like, itong last column, pwede kong i-check na iba yung kulay niya since this is the average and I want it to be significant among the data dun sa loob ng table. So, iibahin ko yung kulay. Pero let's say, medyo dark pa. So, pwede ko pa rin i-personalize yung kulay dito. Depende again. So, it's more on the personalizing yung kanina di-discuss ko. But this time, ano ba yung other advantages when you use formatted table? As I've mentioned kanina, yung ituturo ko is yung quick na computations ng average. Although I am not sure kung same pa rin yung approach when computing the average na usually kasi 'di ba, these are the major subjects lang. Tas you'll get the average lang. Yun yung basic na computations. Pero I think may mga other components na when computing grades. Pero of course, I don't have idea on that one. Pero I'll just give you a quick gist kung paano ginagamit itong average and ano yung advantage kapag formatted table yung ginamit mo. Na let's say on this scenario, si Abad Gary lang yung nakaselect dito sa row 75 ko. And I want to compute yung average nilang lahat. So, ang gagawin ko lang is, I'll hit yung equal sign to trigger yung formula ng average. O, again, equal sign. Itong approach nung formulas, naturo ko na to last May 30 nung part 1 in doing formulas in Excel. Pero again, for those na bago, just hit equal sign and then type yung average na formula natin. And then select itong average na pangalawa. Select that. Double click nyo lang. And then you'll see here, may magpa-prompt na parang drop down dito or a small window dito na magbibigay ng format ng mismong formula. Ito yung mga tinatawag nating arguments inside the formula. So, ang kailangan dito is to select all the data na wherein we'll be computing the average. So, on our case, kailangan lang natin makompute yung average nung lahat ng grades na to, from science to Filipino. So, ang gagawin nyo lang is to select etong data na to. First, yung kay Abad Gary lang, kasi you'll see the magic after I click enter. Since na-select ko na tong grades ni Abad Gary, when I hit enter, automatic, na-compute even yung average ng other students. That's the advantage kapag formatted yung table. Isa lang yung i-compute mo inside the table, yung the following data will follow the same formula. Tapos automatic, mare-reference na yan na this one, when I check the formula, isa-select niya na these are the grades ni Celine Agostos on this example. And then, ang average ni Celine is 72.17. So again, ulitin lang ulit natin yon, didelete ko lang para at least makita nyo lang quickly. Equal sign, average, and then select yung data ng lahat, and then hit enter, automatic mako-compute na yung grades nila. Unlike sa manually approach na, manually na ginawang table, ang mangyayari lang is, if I use itong manually na ginawang table, if I use the equal sign and then same formula, and then I'll select the data, and then I hit enter, ang na-compute lang is yung kay Abad Gary. So, ang magiging approach nyo yan, it's either gagawin nyo lang yung same step na equal sign, and then average ulit, and then select lang ulit yung grade naman ni Agosto Celine, then hit enter. So, one at a time yung kukumputin yung average, which is magiging tedious yun for the teachers. What if 100 students yung meron kayo or more than that? In one class, may 50 students. What if multiple classes yung hawak nyo? So, sobrang daming computations nun. Pero you have an option kung manually naman, you have to drag etong makikita nyo sa corner ng cell, may parang square dot doon. You have to drag lang pababa lahat. Small compute din naman. Yun yung shortcut for the manual. Pero I guess for this class, of course, I'll suggest na formatted table yung gagawin natin. Yun na may objective why I am discussing yung difference and advantages kapag formatted yung ginagamit nyo versus dun sa manual na table. Everything could be automated. So, are we good dun sa intro nung sa tables? Sige. I'll proceed dun sa next. Kasi aside dito sa topics na to, meron pa tayong other items na i-discuss. So, kanina na-discuss ko na tong resizing, pero i-elaborate ko lang from this example. As you can see here, from the first grading na computation na ginawa natin dito na subject-based or per subject per student, ang nakalagay dito, yung next scenario naman natin, let's assume na na-compute ko na yung average ng lahat ng students ko for first grading up to fourth grading, and I want to get the general weighted average for the end of school year. Parang at least I would know who excelled during our during the whole school year. And then from here, nakita nyo naman, fourth, ay first, second, third, fourth grading na, and then same set of students lang. Same names naman yan. Pero for this example, since I want to elaborate yung resizing ng table, there are three options if you want to extend or resize your table. Yung first option is yung tinuro ko kanina, idadrag nyo lang tong sizing handle. It's either, kung magdadagdag kayo ng, let's say, on what I did kanina, 2 columns ngayon yung i-add ko. Idadrag ko lang tong sizing handle papuntang right side ko, magkakaroon ako ng additional columns. But you have an option to add more rows. Ang gagawin nyo lang is to drag yung sizing handle pababa naman this time kasi you're adding more rows. So, automatic makikita nyo nag-resize yung table. So, that's the option 1. Pero let's say, hindi nyo matatansya yung dami ng data na i-input nyo. And then, hindi nyo matansya kung gaano kalaki ba yung table na kailangan nyo gawin. Kung ilang rows ba dapat, ilang columns ba dapat. And ang advantage, ito yung isa sa mga advantage kapag formatted table, as you add yung mga data, let's say, I would like to add another column and lalagyan ko yung column ng, let's say, ranking column. Once na in-enter ko tong ranking column, right next dun sa column ng general weighted average, when I hit tab or enter, automatic, magiging part na siya ng table. That's the second option if you want to extend or expand your table. Anything na ilalagay nyo right next dun sa column or next dun sa row, automatic mag-a-adjust yung table. That's the advantage of formatted table. Automatic na kinakapture niya na part yun ng table. Since right next to the kumbaga from the previous data, nag-input kayo ng another data, i-treat niya na yun as part of the table. So for example, I would like to add another student 1. Tapos when I hit tab or enter, automatic mag-a-add yun ng another row na part ng table and nag-move tong sizing handle natin. So that's another option if you want to continuously adjust yung table. Every time na nag-input kayo ng mga additional data, nag-a-adjust din yung table. Student 2, student 3, enter. Nag-a-adjust yung table. And then, for the option 2, ito yung mas medyo mahabang version. You just have to click inside the table and then go to the table design and then there's an option to resize the table. Design tab and then resize. Ito, makikita nyo dito sa left side, upper corner, next to file and then table name, makikita nyo dito na may option to resize a table. When you click that, you have an option to resize the table. Select nyo lang kung hanggang saan nyo i-resize. And then, okay, resize na yung table. Pero syempre, doon tayo sa shortcut. It's either i-drag nyo lang tong sizing handle or mag-a-add lang kayo ng data. So those are the different ways when you want to resize your table. Now, may mga cases na, for example, na doble yung entry. May mga double entries for my students. Parang sobrang dami kong ginagawa as a teacher. Eventually, may mga instance na pagka-copy ko, na paste ko, same students. As you can see here, doble dito si Abad Gary, si Agosta Celine, and then si Arcangel Joy. Ito sila. Yung first 3 students ko, sila din yung last 3 students ko dito sa table na ginawa ko. And let's say, ang scenario is sobrang dami kong students, pero hindi ko na maiisa-isa pa kung may mga duplicates dito sa mga entries na ginawa ko. So, may shortcut dyan for Excel. And then, since formatted table yung ginawa natin, ang mangyayari lang is you have to go to check the remove duplicates para mawala tong duplicates ni Gary, ni Celine, at ni Joy. Punta lang kayo dun sa table design na tab. And then, you'll see here, dito sa next, under nung inside the tools na tab, under ng table design, may option doon to remove duplicates. Click yung remove duplicates, and may lalabas na window doon na select all those columns na sa tingin yung duplicates if you want to check. Let's say, on our case, duplicate kasi lahat ng entries. Even yung grades ni Abad, ni Agostos, and ni Arroyo, duplicate lahat. So, nakaselect lahat ng columns. Pero if I want to remove lang yung duplicate names and surnames, and same data yung i-fetch niya, I will just hit OK. Tapos, automatic yung may magpa-prompt na there are 7 duplicates na nakita si Excel on this one. And then 12 unique values yung natitira dito. And then I'll just click OK. And then wala nang duplicates yun. Na-remove na yung duplicates. So that's how you remove duplicates dun sa data nyo. Easily. Imagine na sobrang dami na ng data na hinahandle nyo as a teacher. And even yung mga students, di ba usually sa mga students naman may mga research silang ginagawa sa mga survey, yung data ng survey na ginagawa na, and they want to ensure na walang duplicates doon for you to analyze the data para maging accurate din yung data. So you have to use yung remove duplicates na feature or option dito sa Excel under table design once formatted yung table na ginawa niyo. So that's the remove duplicates na option. Now, mag-move on tayo dun sa data filtering. Ito naman yung data filtering, this will allow you to self-explanatory when you want to filter yung mga, let's say, if you want to filter sino ba yung bagsak sa first grading, I'll just use yung number filter. So I can just check dito. Usually naman when filtering, ang approach ng most of the users, it's either isa-select nila dito lahat ng data, tapos to check, let's say ito, mga bagsak to, 71, 74, 75, and then when I hit OK, yun ay may kita ko. Sa first grading, ang bagsak si Cabig, si Butuan, si Agostos. Pero what if sobrang dami agad ng data? May isa-isa nyo pa ba lahat ng mga lineup 7? Syempre hindi. Magiging tedious yun for most of the teachers. So ang gagawin natin is we will be using number filters. May option dito sa number filters na I want to check yung mga grades na, let's say, yun nga, gusto kong mahanap kung sino-sino yung mga bagsak for the first grading. Of course, isa-select ko dito yung option ng less than. Number filters, again, ulitin natin. Dito sa filter, yung drop-down na to, option, number filter, and then choose yung less than. When you hit yung less than, you have to identify ano ba yung, kumbaga, passing score. Siyempre, usually, parang based on my experience, ang passing score ata is 75 pataas. And I want to check kung sino yung 75 below. So, ang gagawin natin, ilalagay natin dito is 75, less than 75 yung grades. And when I hit OK, masaselect lang doon yung mga less than 75. Which are pala si Cabig and si Butuan, 71, 74 for first grading. And ganun lang kabilis, na-filter ko agad kung sino yung mga bagsak. And from here, pwede ko nang itap agad yung students na, you could do this particular task para at least ma-adjust natin yung grades, ganyan, just to meet yung passing score. You could do an extracurricular or something. Kasi may mga ganung situation naman, I understand that. And I experienced that as a student, a former student before, may mga bagsak din naman ako. Pero I don't encourage students na gawing option yung paggawa ng extracurriculars. Of course, you have to do the work. Pero this time, may mga ganong situation, right? May mga extracurriculars na pinapagawa yung mga teachers para lang at least ma-consider na ma-adjust yung grades para magkaroon ng basis. So, this time, na-filter ko na ng first grading kung sino-sino yung mga bagsak. Pero I want to filter as well kung sino yung bagsak ng second grading. Now, this, you should take note of this one na be careful when doing filtering. Na let's say, if you want to filter yung second grading, of course, ang mag-filter nyo na lang this time is si Cabig and si Butuan kasi sila na lang yung yung data na nag-a-appear din sa table natin kasi finilter natin sila for the second grading. Now, be careful on filtering the second grading kasi again, as I mentioned, sila na lang yung mariread na data nung filter na to. This time, when I click itong drop down, sila na lang yung mariread kasi naka-filter din sa first grading. So, this time, for us to filter kasi may bagsak ng second grading, all you need to do is to clear yung filter dun sa first grading para at least ma-read pa rin lahat ng data. So, again, punta ka lang dito sa drop down na button and then clear filter. So that's the time na babalik sa dati lahat ng data, mag-appear lahat ng data, and then that's the time na pwede nang i-filter kung sino yung bagsak or sino yung, let's say, other feature ng number filter is I want to get kung sino yung top 5 ng first grading. May option naman sa number filters. When you click number filters, may option dito ng top 10, pero you can still adjust kung anong top or ilan yung range na gusto nyong iset. Let's say, I want to check yung top 3 lang for the first grading. So, ang top 3 ko, si Lee Angel, si Arroyo, and si Jesus Jason. Again, to filter, before you filter yung next column, make sure to clear yung filter ng first column. And then, filter nyo lang yung next. That's the number filter. How about naman yung text filter? Paano ginagamit dyan? Usually, for the text filter, dito tayo sa column ng last name. When you hit, let's say, ang gusto ko lang makita is lahat ng students na letter A lang yung surname. Nag-search sa letter A. I want to filter those. For some reasons, I want to check who are the students na may letter A na surname. I can filter that using text filter instead of i-uncheck mo tong mga box na to ng mga hindi letter A yung surname, na nag-start sa letter A yung surname, I could just use yung text filter. Meron ditong option that contains or begins with or ends with. Pag begins with yung nag-start sa letter A, which is yung na-mention kong scenario, let's choose this option. Text filter begins with. Lalagay ko dito, begins with letter A. Ita-type ko lang letter A. When I hit OK, lahat ng estudyante na nag-start sa letter A yung surname, yun yung mga filter ng data. But again, it depends on how you want to use itong text filter. Pero there are scenarios naman na ganun. I just want to filter kung sino yung mga students ko na may surname na A or something. Yun lang yung example ko for now. Pero feel free to explore yung purpose or yung usage ng text filter. And next is yung custom filter naman. Itong custom filter, when you check, wait lang. Let's say, eto, for the first grading ulit, balik tayo dito sa first grading. May option kasi dito sa number filters, you could custom yung filter na gusto mo. Pero again, it depends on what data you want to see when filtering. For example, I want to see yung sa mga grades na to, yung equals to 90 na mga students, yung mga may grades na 90, and also I want to see yung mga students then na equals to 89 or 80, let's say 80, yung mga grades. So when I hit OK, walang lumabas na data because walang mga students na may grades na 90 dun sa example ko. Let me clear that lang. Walang students na may grade na equals to 90 and equals to 80. So, mali yung sinet ko na example in doing custom filter. Pero we can use, let's say, equals to 90 or instead na end. Kasi of course, dito sa kaya nag-error yun, walang na-filter na data because wala naman dito sa table na to yung may grade, dalawang grade na meron na siyang 90, meron pang 80. So, ang gagawin natin or I want to see the students na merong grades na equals to 90 or equals to, let's say, 89. So, these are the students na merong grades na 90 or equals to 89. That's how you use yung custom filter. Pero sobrang wide nung options for the custom filter. Depende dun sa conditions or sa data that you want to filter out. So feel free to explore that option. So again, yung mga topics na na-discover natin or na-discuss ko for this time is the difference between formatted table, manual table, how to resize a table, and then how to remove duplicates, and the data filtering. And also, marami pang filtering na features si Excel. Meron pang date filters, if you want to filter yung mga certain range lang na from, let's say, from this month lang, for this quarter, sino yung mga nag-Excel na students or something like that. May mga ganong other filters pa. Again, as I mentioned, meron pang date filter. So, feel free to search on Google kung ano yung mga different filters pa. So, that's filter, number filter, and custom filter. Next is yung formulas, referencings, and spark lines. Yung formulas kanina na tinuro ko, yun na yung sa average. Again, equal sign lang, tapos average. Tapos select mo lang yung grades ng student, and that's it. That's the formulas. And if you want to reference naman, like the grades, just hit equal sign. Tapos, I want to reference etong average na to. This is average ni Grace. So, when doing referencing, you hit and equal sign lang and then select kung ano yung cell that you want to reference dun sa next column. This is not really, kumbaga, useful for the teachers, pero this is nice to know lang when doing referencing para at least you know somehow yung mga other features ng Excel. Delete yan for this one. Kasi next example natin is yung spark lines. Ano ba to? Spark lines is a mini chart found inside a cell to show trends and a series of values. Yung next kasi na topic natin is about charts and illustration. Pero inside, did you know that inside a cell, you could insert a chart that would help you illustrate or see kung saang, let's say, like visually see kung anong quarter, kung saang grade quarter nag-excel yung isang student. For example, si De La Cruz Grace. Visually or numerically, may kita ko na first grading yung pinakamataas niyang grade. Pero visually, I want to check it at a glance. So, ang gagamitin ko, may mga options na to create a spark lines para at least visually you would be able to see everything. Like to understand data at a glance. So, ang gagawin ko is I'll use spark lines. Now, how to insert a spark line inside a cell. So, click kung ano yung cell na gusto nyo, kung saan nyo i-insert yung spark lines. And then, once na naklik nyo na yung cell na yon, punta lang kayo sa table design. Oh, wait. Click yung cell. For this example, nandito ako sa column K, row 152. Instead na table design, just click itong enter. Enter na tab. Ay, insert na tab, sorry. Insert na tab, not the table design tab. Insert. And then sa insert, meron dong options inside the spark lines. Nandito yung line, spark line, column, or win or loss. So for example, gamitin mo natin is yung column na spark line. And then, once nakilik nyo yung spark line na column, maghahanap siya ng data range, which is on our case, etong first grading up to fourth grading na series of grades. When I select it, ganyan lang, select nyo lang yan, yung 4 columns na yon, first grading to fourth grading, and hit OK, automatic magkakaroon na siya ng spark line. So you'll see here na ang pinakamataas na grades ni De La Cruz Grace nandun sa first grading. It happened last first grading. And then, ang gagawin nyo lang, kung gusto nyo magkaroon ng spark line the rest, just drag the rest pababa. And then lahat yun, magkakaroon ng spark lines for the column. So makikita nyo dito, for example, etong si Agosto Celine. Sobrang baba ng grades niya ng second grading and third grading. So from here, makikita nyo na, bakit kaya? Ano yung grade ni Celine that time? Which is, when you check the data, it's 70-70. Ang pinakamataas niya first grading, 72. Pero other examples of spark lines, wait, delete lang natin to. And then, may mga other examples pa dito when you click yung spark lines. As you can see kanina dun sa example ko, di ba? Merong options doon na column, win, loss, or line. Itong line naman to see the trend. Mas better tong example compared dun sa column. Ito kasi you'll see the trend nung overall, wait lang, oops, ay hindi ko po pala nadidelete ang sparkline, sorry. Delete lang natin. Let me delete this one lang. Okay. So, add tayo ng bagong spark lines. This time, gamitin natin yung line na spark lines to see the trend. Ito yung best use ng spark lines when you want to see saan nagpa-fluctuate yung grade, saan mas tumaas, saan mas nag-improve, what particular quarter nag-excel yung isang students. Use. So, as you can see here, makikita nyo dito, may mini trends lang siya, may mini lines na makikita nyo. On the third grading, dun pinaka-bumaba yung grade ni De La Cruz Grace. And the rest, idadrag ko lang yan pababa. You'll see here, may mini chart na kayo to check kung what particular grading or quarter nag-fluctuate yung grade ng isang students, what quarter siya nag-improve and stuff, or anong quarter yung anong quarter niya particularly kailangan mag-improve. So, those are the spark lines. So, let's proceed now to the next topic, which is yung charts. Ito yung larger version ng spark lines. Kasi kanina mini chart lang. This time, actual chart na yung gagawin natin, i-develop natin based dun sa data na ginawa or sa data na meron tayo. So on this scenario, coming from the first scenario na sinimulan natin sa yung pag-compute ng grade per subject, and then we did it like per quarter, first grading, second grading, third grading. This time, na-accumulate na natin yung top 5 students on this scenario. And I want to see kung ano yung naging progress nila, or I want to continuously monitor kung ano yung progress nila per grading. So, ang gagawin ko na this time, it's gonna be via chart now with the use of charts. Again, as you can see here, charts for data illustration. At least, you would be able to see visually yung naging progress ng some students. Now, how to create a chart. So, let's say, i-delete ko lang muna itong ginawa ko, yung pre-made chart na ginawa ko so I could show you how to create a chart. Now, inside the formatted table, click anywhere, and then go to the insert na tab. Ito sa taas. And then you'll see here, sa column ng charts, ito, inside it, may mga options, may mga different charts na pwede nyo gamitin. Meron ditong recommended charts. When you click that, may auto-suggested na chart na si Excel. Tapos you could choose kung ano yung sa tingin nyong helpful enough for you to see visually or monitor visually yung progress ng mga students nyo overall. Like itong top 5 for my example. Since maraming may mga different charts na meron tayo ditong line charts, merong pie charts, bar charts. Pero for this example, let's use yung column chart. Kanina, yung pinakita ko, yung dinilate dito. So as you can see here, nakapag-create na ako ng chart, and then nakuha niya na yung data ni Abad Gary ng all of my students nandito na top 5 na nilagay ko sa table. Makikita niyo dito yung progress, and then nandito na yung mga markings niya. Now, for first grading, ito yung color red, and then second grading yung yellow and stuff. So, may color assignments na based dun sa sinet ko na branding colors dito sa aking Excel file. Pero again, may mga pre-made chart na dito in terms of colors. Kasi ako sinet ko na dito yung branding colors ng Coder Stripe kasi kaya that's why may mga gantong colors. Pero by default, meron yung basic na colors na available sa Excel. Tapos, you can change yung name ng chart, yung title ng chart, I mean, let's say, ilagay ko dito is top 5 students. SY 2022, 2023, for example. Ayan. So, ang advantage nito is that when you want to, let's say may mga errors dito, nagkamali ka ng input ng grade kay Agosto, Celine, and Joy. and you want to change it from 100 na average, gagawin kong 89 and then 95. 95. So automatic, kung napansin nyo, yung naging movement, nag-update din to, nag-auto-update yung chart na ginawa ko. Yun yung advantage kapag formatted table yung ginamit mo and then inside the Excel, nag-create ka ng chart. Usually kasi di ba ang scenario, gagamitin nyo yung, mag-create kayo ng chart sa ika-copy-paste nyo sa PowerPoint, which is inside the PowerPoint, pwede nyo namang i-embed yung Excel para at least directly na kayo nag-update ng data inside the chart once na naka-embed yung Excel dun sa PowerPoint. Same with pag-embed nung Excel file or yung Excel data sa Word, sa Microsoft Word. May mga options na ganun. Siguro yung mga topics na yon, I think, available naman. May mga online resources for that. Pero let us know kung gusto nyo ng mga ganung klaseng trainings. Maybe we can consider that for the next topic. Yung connections, yung pagko-connect ng mga different Microsoft applications, PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. Yung top 3 na yon. Pero going back on this one, dito sa charts, since we're talking about the charts, etong chart na to has different elements. In terms of the chart title, ito yung kaninang binago natin. Yung chart area is ito mismong shape na to. Yung makikita nyo na may white na color. This is the chart area, chart title, and then the legends. Ito yung na-mention ko kanina mga markings. These are the legends. And then yung data series, eto yon. Eto yung mga data series na yon. And then yung data level, these are the names na nilagay natin dito. Pero for you to see yung data series, what you can do is click yung chart na ginawa niya and then right click and then select data. And you'll see here, eto yung mga data series na ginawa niyo. Actually, this is the data source. But yung data series, may kita nyo doon sa ginawa nyong table sa taas. These are the series of data. Pero if you want to switch yung mga columns or rows, depende sa preference nyo or sa gusto nyo makitang illustrations or visual monitoring, you have to just click it. Switch yung row ng columns, yung row and columns, I mean, and then click that or pwede mo yung ibalik sa dati. Kasi you want, on this example naman, you want to see, ang subject natin dito are the students, not the per quarter na grading. So you want to see si Gary Abad, si Celine, and stuff, kung saan sila nag-excel na quarter, and then for the other features, yun lang, pwede nyo na lang i-switch yun. Depende again sa gusto nyong data na makita. So, aside dun sa pinakita kong column chart, which is yung example natin kanina sa taas, there are different types of charts. And then makikita nyo dito yung mga used nun. Again, I think I can share this file after this class para at least makita nyo or it could be your guide after this class when you want to do it on your own. I-share ko sa inyo tong file. I'll coordinate with the organizer later. So as you can see here, itong column chart and bar chart, best used for showing data changes over a period of time or for illustrating comparisons among items. For example, dito, kino-compare ko yung naging growth ng grades or ang tawag dito kung saang kung saang quarter nag-excel si Gary Abad versus kay Celine, kay Joy, and kay Joseph na mga students ko. And then, ito naman kung saang grade nag-excel din, same, ito naman bar chart, pero mas makikita nyo dito, same din naman to, parang nagbago lang yung axis nila kung saan mo nilagay yung the grading quarters and then yung name ng mga students. Shinit lang. And then yung line chart and pie chart. Itong line chart, best use, actually it's commonly used to depict the historical trends of a quantitative values. For example, kanina, dun sa mga ginawa kong spark lines, you'll see there, yung naging progress ng each student. Pero from here, makikita nyo yung buong trends ng naging effort ng isang estudyante during the school year. And dito sa pie chart, it's more on numerical proportion. So those are the general or most common use charts na ginagamit in Excel. And you could copy-paste it then directly sa Word. Pero yun nga lang, when you update, the only problem when you copy-paste a chart from Excel papunta sa Word, when you want to update the when you're gonna update the data dito sa Excel, hindi mag-update yung chart na nandun sa Word file. That's why you have to embed yung or insert the Excel data directly dun sa Word file. Instead na ika-copy paste niyo yung mismong chart papunta dun sa Word. You have to copy paste or enter the data itself inside the Word once na na-insert niyo yung Excel dun sa Word. Para at least auto-update lahat when you want to change anything inside or any data dun sa table na meron kayo. Para at least hindi tedious na pagka-update sa Excel, i-update mo ulit yung chart na ginawa mo sa Word file. So, pwede namang in one place lang lahat. You have to learn lang how to insert Excel file dun sa Word file or sa PowerPoint. And that's it. That's it for today. Pero again, for you to see lang, baka mamaya mag-wonder kayo, ang ginawa lang naman ni JP kanina is yung column chart. Paano niya ginawa tong bar chart? Paano ginawa yung pie chart? And then itong line chart. Actually, all these charts are connected on this data. So for example, papakita ko lang sa inyo kung paano ko gagawin yung pie chart. Or instead of pie chart, itong line chart na lang. Katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, click lang inside the formatted table, and then dun sa insert tab, and then dito sa recommended, click yan, or pwedeng diretso ng click ng line chart, which is ito. And then, since in this case, ang click natin is recommended chart, click mo lang yung tab ng all charts, tapos you'll see here na meron pang different line charts. Ayan, may iba't iba pang format ng line charts. So for other example, let's say gamitin natin tong may mga dots. So that's how I insert yung line chart. And if in case nagbago yung isip ko, ay hindi na lang pala line chart yung gagamitin ko, ano na lang pala, let's say bar chart or column chart. Balik lang ulit kayo doon, or let's say for this one, click ka lang din sa chart and then change chart type. From there, pwede mo nang baguhin kung ano yung chart na gusto mo. Or yung chart na sa tingin mong would really help you monitor visually or may better illustration in terms of the progress ng mga students. And hit OK. Nag-update na siya. So, that's how you use Excel tables and charts dito sa Microsoft Excel. So, we are now on Q&A. So, we're done for the part 2 of our Excel training finally. Kasi I think it's been 3 months, May, June, July, August. Yes, it's been 3 months since yung first part natin. So, I hope you were able to get these things that I've discussed kanina lang. And then, I'll share this file. I think isi-send nila to once along with the certifications. I think so. So if you want to check out yung first part again, visit yung Facebook page ni NOLITC and you'll see there. Maybe the organizers could link it directly dun sa, or i-comment. Wait, let me check yung live. Tapos i-comment ko na lang dun yung link ng part 1. So everyone be able to check that out. Tapos i-connect nyo lang from part 1, i-binge watch nyo yung part 1 ko and then this one, yung part 2. Then yung recall. So that's it. Let's now proceed with the Q&A. I think may mga questions na so far.
Yes, exactly. First, let us give our expert speaker, Sir JP, a virtual clap reaction, virtual heart. Yes, this is actually a very important, no, that we did the part 2 so that we could continue with the discussion from the part 1.
Yes. I'm
And
sure kasi
now,
nabitin lahat eh. Nabitin last time lahat.
yes, exactly. At marami ka pa talagang sasabihin, hala, importante talaga to. Okay, so now we are
Yes,
in
and it's
our...
important sa
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sir JP. Now we are in our open forum session and we will bring back to you our moderator for this session, Sir Dale Aguil. Sir Dale?
Hello. Thank you, Miss Red. Okay, let us now proceed for our Q&A. So here we have our first question. Does the filter options and other tools in Microsoft Excel also depend on the OS or operating system? What is the recommended or ideal OS?
So, I think for this question, no, if I get it right, in terms of filter options ng Excel, it doesn't really, kumbaga, connected on your versions. Pero of course, there are features. By the way, I forgot to mention kasi na itong version ng Excel na pinakita ko is the recent one. It's under Office 365 license. So I encourage everyone na you have to purchase the actual license ng Microsoft to check yung mga advanced features. Pero in terms of filter options, hindi naman siya connected din sa versions. Pero so far, hindi pa naman ako nakaka-encounter ng mga additional filtering options na bago, mga newest filtering options sa Excel since they updated. Pero kung ang Excel version nyo pa is like 2005, 2001, ang dami ng mga naging updates and you should purchase a new license or at least update your Excel file if you already have a license.
And ayun, I hope you have answered the first question. And we are now here. We have yung second question natin. What is the purpose of Sparklines? So,
Yep. As I mentioned din yung Sparklines, it's a nice to have feature lang kasi it's like a mini chart inside the cell itself. If you want to check visually or if you want a mini illustrations ng mga grades or progress, yun lang naman yung purpose nun. Pero etong Sparklines ginagamit most of the users ng Excel ginagamit to for business purposes, especially for the sales, ganyan. Pero I just show it or pinakita ko lang sa inyo kanina at least for you to see how parang i-relate lang yung from the mini chart ng Sparklines papunta dun sa actual na charts, which is mas useful yung actual na charts compared dun sa Sparklines. Yung Sparklines naman pwede nyo siyang gamitin kung maliit lang yung data na kailangan yung let's say if you want to monitor or you want an illustration sa mga data na meron kayo and sobrang liit lang ng database, you could use Sparklines instead ng actual na charts.
okay. Next, for our next question, as a student, why is it necessary to learn MS Excel?
Of course, Excel is necessary sa lahat ng students. Siguro balik lang ako dun sa experience ko when I was in college. And there's a lot of research ongoing, like may thesis and you have to interview and then from the interview you have to tally yung mga answers yung ng mga respondents, yung mga responses you have to tally it and input it sa Excel tapos analyze the data. It's very important and necessary to use or learn how to use Excel kasi that is where you would be able to understand yung for you to have a concrete findings on your research based on the survey that you did. Isa yun sa mga purpose and why you want or why you need to learn Excel. And aside from that, of course, this particular tool, the Microsoft Office applications na available on the market are the ones na ginagamit on the actual work. So you might want to learn it as early as now as a student para at least it will eventually be your advantage when you apply for work. Kasi that's one of my naging ang tawag dito, I would say naging parang that's how I separate myself with the other applicants when I used to start nung nag-start pa lang ako sa career ko, when I applied for an internship, they were surprised na okay, as an intern at this early stage, alam mo na kung paano gumamit ng Excel like the advanced tools. You want to always be advanced on the others. So you have to learn it as early as now if you have time. Instead of doing TikTok videos for some of your time, I encourage you to learn something in advance in preparation dun sa career nyo. Kasi these are the tools na ginagamit sa actual work.
I agree dun sa part na yun. Kasi it really gives us the upper hand na compare sa ibang applicants when we apply sa work na. So,
Yes.
we are now sa
Additional
next
points
question
yun.
natin. Tama. So, for the fourth question, how to determine that the Excel's computation is accurate?
Is accurate, the Excel computation. Actually, it depends on how you computed yung data. So for example, kanina, sa example ko, it's more on getting the average. So from the formula itself, let's say, wait lang. Siguro pwede ulit ako mag-share screen, no? I think. Para at least makita ko lang visually. Mag-share screen lang ulit ako. Ayan. So for example, ito, i-computing natin yung general weighted average ng lahat ng students ko. Ang gagawin ko, gagamitin ko lang ulit yung formula na average para at least mapakita ko sa inyo how to check kung accurate yung computations. And then select ko lang yung formula and then select ko yung data and then hit enter. Ito na yung average ng students ko. For you to check kung accurate yung computation, may mga times na nag-error tong results. For example, wait lang, paano ba ako makakapagpakita ng error? Say, sige, na, let's see. Okay, naisip ko na kung paano makakapagpakita ng error. May mga instances kasi na during selection ng data na i-compute mo, ang nangyayari is instead na first to fourth reading na columns lang, yung maseselect mo, minsan naseselect mo yung may mga unnecessary columns na naseselect. So when I included itong David na column, yung first name ni David, when I hit enter, na-compute pa rin yung grades because na-treat niya na this is a text value. Na-discuss ko na rin to dun sa part 1. Pero may mga errors lang, kung makikita nyo dito, like for this example, nagkaroon ng error in terms of the overall average ng mga student, meaning there's something wrong about the formula. And may option dito to check kung ano yung naging problem sa mga formulas na ginawa ko in terms of computations. Now, going back dun sa unang minention ko, as I answer this question, it depends on how you do the computation. May mga instances kasi na manually nilang ginagawa yung computation. Like if you want to, let's say, may scenario kasi na ina-add lang nila tong mga data na to. Most of the users kasi nangyayari lang, add mo lang tong first column, tapos plus sign, eto, plus sign, eto, and then enter. And then eventually, i-compute mo yun as an average, which is magiging tedious yun eventually. Tapos that's the time na nagkakaroon ng error. Malalaman mong nag-error yung computations kapag ganito na yung lumabas, hindi numbers, or may something error dito. Yun yung malalaman mong may error. Pero in terms of accuracy, you'll be able to notice yung accuracy if you're gonna double check everything. Of course, don't rely yung accuracy ng data sa Excel alone in terms of the computation. It will still be depends on the data you insert or you input dun sa Excel file. So make sure that everything is accurate before you do the computation.
Yes. So dapat talaga we must be careful sa mga nilalagay nating mga data.
Yes,
So
data.
yung computation natin will be accurate. So ayan, I guess we are down to the last question for the fifth
Last question.
question. In terms of Excel, is there a limit of rows and columns, and what to do I if I have like hundreds of rows to calculate?
Okay. So in terms of limit ng Excel, I think nakalimutan ko kung ilan, pero sobrang laki nung actually wala pa naman akong na-encounter na naubos ko yung available rows and columns in Excel. Pero in terms of handling hundreds of columns and hundreds of rows, you might want to explore yung advanced options na, let's say, you're handling those large database. Eventually, you have to consider to explore in pivoting the table. Itong pivoting the table, advanced, it's like an advanced filter of another, parang creating a filter table out of the general or the main database that you have, the main table that you have, para at least ma-streamline mo lang yung mga items na kailangan mo or mga data na kailangan mong ma-analyze. Ang first suggestion ko on that part, when you handling a big chunk of database, of course, you have to identify first, ano ba yung kailangan kong data na ma-analyze? What are the criteria? What are the scenarios na kailangan kong gusto kong maging output when analyzing a data. You have to understand that. And it will be based on the process, or let's say on the KPIs na naset nyo. For the teachers, yung average ng mga students, ano ba yung mga passing and stuff. So it depends on the KPIs and criteria na iset nyo eventually. Pero when handling a large database, you might want to explore yung mga advanced features ng Excel, which is yung database management na course. Meron yan available online. Mga database functions, yung mga tinuro ko kasi last time, it's more on text functions, date functions, pero meron pang database functions na sa Excel wherein you would be able to really analyze, that would really help you analyze yung ganong kalaking data when you have a large database. Pero I'll get back to you dun sa part ng kung ilang rows ang meron sa Excel, yung limitations and yung limitations ng column. Pero I won't suggest na you have to, kumbaga, maximize lahat ng rows kasi bibigat din naman yung file and it will take a lot of time for you to open the file kung ganun kalaki yung data na hinahandle nyo. So you might want to separate every data on the different table, different sheets. That's why may mga different sheets available si Excel. Para at least hindi yun nauubos yun lahat.
Mm. Uh, so I guess okay. Before we end, may ano pala, may pahabol na question from our audience from Sir Greg Bancolo. Sir Greg asked, what is the main advantage of formatting data as a table?
Formatting a data as a table. Yun, as I've mentioned kanina, ang advantage kasi, as yung pinakita ko sa inyo, everything could be auto-compute. When you, kung na ma-recall nyo, when I enter yung function na average, sa first row ko lang in-enter yung formula. Pero eventually, as I hit enter, nag-apply yung same formula dun sa the rest of the, kumbaga dun sa the following rows. And yun yung advantage of formatted table. Sobrang bilis ng computations. In one series of data lang, at the first column, mag-a-apply na yung same formula dun sa the rest of the table na meron kayo. And other advantages, as I've shown you kanina din, when resizing a table, everything could be instant. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-format or mag-recolor ng mga rows, mag-add ng columns manually kasi as you enter the data, nag-expand or nag-extend na din yung table. Pero if you want to dig in dun sa other advantages, you might want to check yung mga free resources sa website ng Microsoft itself. May mga free forums doon.
Mhm. So madami talagang advantage si formatting using
Yes.
pag-format using a table.
Yep,
So
yep.
ayan, I guess we are now done sa ating okay. Yung last question. So you are now done sa ating Q&A. So I guess I am now going to give the microphone back to our host, Miss Red.
Thank you very much, Sir Dale and Sir JP. We are hoping, we are really very grateful, no, for the second
Yep.
part of this webinar. Yes, Sir JP.
Yep. Hello. Sorry, add ko lang, no? Since
Mm-hmm.
balikan ko lang yung question kanina, how many rows and how many columns
Yeah.
meron in Excel. So, based on Google, what I've searched on Google, there are 1,048,576 rows in Excel. So, ganun kadami. And then 16,384 columns. And I don't think naman, like, the teachers would be able to maximize that, use all those rows
Mm-hmm.
and columns. And as
Mm-hmm.
I've mentioned kanina, sobrang magiging mabagal yung pag-read ng file kung ganun kalaking
Mm-hmm.
data. So you might want to separate yung mga data per students, per class on a
Mm-hmm.
different sheets.
Wow, wow, that's a trivia. Yeah.
Yes, that's a diba, na-recall ko lang din today. Thank you dun sa
Okay.
nagtanong.
Thank you to the one who asked this question. Now we have like really have learned so much about Microsoft Excel. This is no longer such a daunting task anymore because
Yeah.
like some of us has Excel phobia. I myself has an Excel phobia before, but this doesn't sound or appear too much daunting. Maybe we could share that one in the comment section as well para so our participants can take note of that much data we could process in Excel. Before we end this open forum session, Sir JP, would you like to share any parting words, message to our audience?
Yep, sure. Ako naman, I hope I was able to share you something that would
Mm-hmm.
um really help you after this session. And I hope gamitin niyo yung mga na-discover niyo for today and explore it on your own. Don't limit yourself dito sa na-discuss ko lang, like for yung mga examples and scenarios na
Mm-hmm.
naibigay ko sa inyo. Explore the features of Excel kasi there's a lot to learn. Even me continuously ine-explore ko tong Excel as of this moment using Excel for 8 years now. Pero
Mm-hmm.
I'm not still confident to say na alam ko lahat ng meron sa Excel because I'm still continuously learning and exploring yung features ng Excel. So keep
Mm-hmm.
on learning every day. Every day is a learning opportunity for us.
Yes, great talk and great message to you. Huge thanks to Sir JP for this part two of our Microsoft Excel talk. Kindly share with us your insights in the comment section and let us know how this topic is useful to you. We will read your comments in a short while. We would like to express at this point our profound appreciation to our incredibly cognizant expert speaker, Mr. JP De Gabi. Let us give him a virtual clap reaction, a virtual heart, and virtual hug reaction. And of course, to our exceptional moderator for today, Mr. Dale Agil, for his superb facilitation of this webinar. Thank you so much. Shall we give them again a virtual round of applause? Also, we will be giving or sharing this certificate of appreciation to our expert speaker. Once again, to Sir JP De Gabi, the Province of Negros Occidental and Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center present this certificate of appreciation to Sir JP De Gabi for sharing your valuable expertise and commendable service extended as our resource speaker for this webinar, Microsoft Excel Literacy Training Part 2, given this, August 8th, 2022, by signed by our vocational school administrator, Dr. Maria Cristina Orbicido. Thank you very much. Once again, shall we give them, our speaker, a virtual round of applause? If you like this webinar, share some virtual reactions and give us a thumbs up or share your insights again in the comment section. And at this juncture, allow me to thank our very engaged and active participants. We are so much grateful for your time and for interacting with us virtually. Let me give a shout out to Cha Chan. Thank you for watching us. Sir Ruel Pedroso, Luigi IC Badillo, Yonesen Biona. Hello and thank you for joining with us today. Zidi Hunsay Lucero, Ryan Gilezon, Chari Christine Villibert Peñaflor, you too. Prasad, hello. Avico Tabino, good afternoon. Iris, hello there. Gian Laparan Taihon, thank you for joining us. Charlie Bacolod, hello there. Thank you for watching. Theb Giavia, hello there. Hi. Maricar Alvarez Barba. Kai Esteban, hello. Maricar Alvarez Barba, who is from Bacolod City College. Joanne Agustin, good afternoon to you. Elaine U. Poblete, thank you. Yes, and John Michael Gowan from Bacolod City College. We have Daniela Christine Tabanan. Good afternoon. From Bacolod City College as well. We also have here from the same school, Alvin Hoban. Thank you. And yes, thank you for your greetings. Marlene De Mawalo, Jessiel Conyendo, and Maricar Alvarez Barba. Thank you so much, Sir JP De Gabe and Brian Jan Branha. All right. So we hope to see you once again in the next episode of our NOLITC webinars. And all right, I also would like to emphasize again how you can get a digital certificate for attending this webinar online. Let me remind you that you should do the online evaluation at this point. We will be sharing with you right there, and you may scan the QR code, or you may also find the link in the comment section of this live stream. Okay, so your email address should be typed in correctly. Be careful with the spelling of your email address and your complete name. All right, the evaluation site will be open only until 6 o'clock this evening. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes our NOLITC Gender and Development webinar for today, Microsoft Excel Part 2. This has been your host, Red, and see you in the same platform that you are currently using. You should be able to receive a notification in your email. So that's it. Stay safe and keep smiling. Be strong. NOLITC Inspire, NOLITC Cares. Avance Negrense.
Have you ever felt? Are you listening? Damn.